I've said it multiple times on this channel before, but editing is one of my favorite parts of doing photography. Just having the ability to transform a photo into such a specific vibe, a specific feel or look is something that I really enjoy. Now, what is even more beautiful about it is that you can give the same exact photo to different photographers and they're all going to edit it a different sort of way, because we all have different styles, different tastes, and we're not all gonna edit the exact same way. Now, is there a wrong way to edit a photo? Certainly, I think there is, right? Not the same edit will go for every photo. That is obvious. But that doesn't change the fact that the editing process in photography is where most photographers can show their style, their color palette, their creativity. So this is what we're going to do today. Yes, this is another editing tutorial. Today we're going to be editing a portrait in Lightroom using my Moody preset. Yes, in case you didn't know, I do have a Moody preset. Now, it is a preset that I have been showing a lot on this channel just so that you can see how it works and how it can transform your photos. Now, if you want to try it for yourself, you can use the first link in the description below to do that as well. Now, it's a great preset. I've worked really hard on it and I know you're gonna love it. Now, if you like my photography, you like my work, you like my channel, and you want to support me, this is a great way of doing so. Now, I want to quickly thank everyone that has already purchased the preset and that have been using it and tagging me on Instagram. I've been loving seeing what you guys are creating with it and it's so amazing. Thank you so much. And if you're still on the fence about it, then hopefully in this video, I'll be able to convince you to try it out for yourself using the first link in the description below. And you know what? I'm even going to do something a little bit extra. The photo I'm going to be editing today, I'm going to give that to you for free. So you can download that using the second link in the description below, just so that you can follow along with me. Now, you will still need to get the Moody preset, but don't worry, that's the very first link. Welcome back. My name is Samuel. This is Newman Photographs. On this channel, I create photography content. If that is what you're into, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any new content. Now, the channel is growing. We've surpassed 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 1,100. Wow. So thank you so much for being here, watching my videos and subscribing to the channel. And with no further ado, let's start editing. So here I am in Lightroom. I've got this portrait here set up and ready to go. Now, this is a portrait that I shot during one of my street photography walks. Almost all of the portraits that I show you on this channel are portraits that I've shot myself during my street photography walks. Now, this one is a little bit on the overexposed side of things, but that is okay because I was shooting in RAW and I can always lower the exposure like this to save some detail. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply the Moody preset and you're gonna see that it's gonna do that for us already. So let's apply the Moody preset. Boom, look at this. Now, let's quickly do a before and after to see what has happened. Okay, so with this before and after, you can see a couple of things. First of all, the background is darker. Now, I always preach about having the background be darker than your subject. So this is already done for us. The second thing that I noticed is that the image is less overexposed. As you can see here on her face, on her clothes, her white shirt, it's quite blown out. But the Moody preset has brought back all of those details and it's decreased the exposure so that the shot isn't overexposed. Now, we're not gonna stop here, right? And I always preach about this on my channel, right? Whenever you use a preset, don't just use it and export your photo. Always go in and make some adjustments so that your photo looks the best that it can. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. First things first, I'm going to decrease the exposure just a bit more like that. Perfect. Then I'm gonna raise the shadows, bring back some details. I'm also gonna decrease the highlights because we don't really need those. And I'm gonna decrease the whites as well. So perfect. Now the white balance is okay, but the shot is looking a little cold. So I'm gonna warm it up a little bit by setting it to say 5,000. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna go in and use the masks. So I always like to use masks to enhance the photo even more. So looking at this photo, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a mask on her skin to smoothen her skin a little bit. I'm gonna use a mask on her eyes to sharpen them. Now, they are already sharp, but we can always make it even more sharp. And then her lips are looking a little... What I might do is just do a mask on her lips and bring back some color because they're looking a little desaturated, a little dry. Okay, so now let's create the masks. So I'm gonna select lips, iris, and pupil. eye sclera, body skin, and facial skin. Perfect. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate these different masks to be in their own groups. So I want the lips to be in its own group, I want the eyes to be on their own groups, and the body skin to be in its own group as well. Perfect. So now watch what happens for the body skin. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna decrease the texture. And as you can see, it's making her skin a lot smoother. Perfect. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise up the shadows to bring back some light in her face. Perfect, perfect. Now let's do a before and after. This is before. And this is after. Now, because of the YouTube compression, you might not notice a big difference, but just know that there is a big difference. Then we're gonna move on to her lips. So for her lips, what I think I'm gonna do is, since they're looking a little bit dry, I'm just going to decrease the texture also to make them a little bit more smooth. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to saturate them a little bit more. Saturation, perfect. And I think that's all I'm gonna do for the lips. They're looking already a lot better. If you do before and after, this is before, and this is after. Perfect. Now let's move on to the eyes. So for the eyes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first of all raise the shadows. Perfect. You can already see what this is doing. I'm gonna raise up the whites just like that. Then I'm gonna go down to the texture and I'm going to raise the texture all the way. Now, as you can see, this has made the eyes a lot sharper. If I do before and after, you can see her eyes are sharper, they're lighter, a little bit brighter, and this is perfect. This is just what we want. Now, what you can also do for any one of those masks is use this right here. Now, this is the amount slider. You can use it to control the intensity of your masks and all your effects. So for example, if I raise it all the way here for the eyes, you can see that it's really increasing the effect on the eye, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna leave it at the middle, which is 100. But just know that you can always decrease it or increase it to your liking. This is looking good, but we're not done with the masks. So what we're gonna do is create a radial gradient, and I'm gonna create that radial gradient over her face, just like this. Perfect. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to increase the exposure to brighten her face, just like that. And then I'm going to duplicate and invert that same mask. Then I'm going to do the exact opposite. So decrease the exposure. And you know what? I'm also going to decrease the black, something like this. And now what we have done is we have brightened her face and darkened everything else so that her face is the brightest part of the image. Now let's deactivate all the masks and reactivate them just to see what we have done. So this is before the masks and this is after the mask. Before and after. So as you can see, it's really doing a great deal in improving the photo that much more. So this is where I would usually stop with an edit like this. Now, of course, you can always go back to the basic settings and do some, more tweakings, but I'm satisfied with how this is looking. So now let's do a general before and after to see what we have done with the image. And boom, this is what we have now. I mean, I don't even have to say much because you can clearly see the differences, and it really is mind-blowing what transformation this photo has gone through. Now, keep in mind, the Moody preset did most of the work here. All we have done is apply the Moody preset, which did most of the work. And then, we did some tweakings, raising the shadows, changing the white balance a little bit, decreasing the highlights. And then we added some masks, which really helped in elevating the photo to a higher level. And as you can see, where the photo was overexposed and where some parts, like her shirt here, were blown out, we have been able to bring all of that back in with the Moody preset. Let me know what you guys think about this edit in the comments. I am straight up loving it. Well, now, one of my favorite things here is her eyes. Because we have made her eyes a little bit brighter and a little bit sharper, they really stand out. They really stand out, and we can really look into her eyes and kind of have an idea of what she's thinking. As they say, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So we have taken the photo from this to that. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you think about the Moody preset. Again, if you want to get it, use the first link in the description below. I've been showing a lot of different scenarios in which I use this Moody preset for different sorts of photos, for different sorts of people, just so you guys can have a better idea of how it works. Now, the Moody preset is also available on Lightroom Mobile. Now, whether you're using an iPhone, an Android, a tablet, whatever it may be, you can use the Moody preset on those. So if you want to know how to make edits just like these, but on your phone, then you can watch this video right here. You can also click here to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. For everyone that has already purchased my Moody preset, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Stay creative, keep creating. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.